right. Woo. Hey, welcome to Tavern Take 5. I am Gayla, aka the Awkward Introverted Therapist, and with me is Winter Ross, registered dietitian extraordinaire.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year to everyone. We are in wrapping up the second week of the year, 2024.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if people are sticking to their goals or those resolutions.
Mhm.
I don't know. But most of the time that one of those top things on the list is fitness. I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, or I'm going to stop eating this, or I'm going to stop drinking this. So this is right up your alley. And we
Yes.
started talking about this in nutrition. And what was it that you were telling me about?
Yes. Okay. So happy New Year's, everyone. We were just getting on the topic of, okay, all these New Year's resolutions. How do you stay motivated? One of the things that you need to stay motivated is having adequate energy that comes from having adequate nutrition. However, when you're someone who's busy or have other different type of things going on with your body, that may be hard to do. So we were talking about taking supplementation such as a multivitamin. We were going over the food approach in a multivitamin, and we were talking about organ meats. And we were talking about how eating organ meat is like that's the powerhouse of nutrition. Like those have the most vitamins and minerals in them. So specifically liver, that's the top one. You can have liver, you can have heart, and you can have tongue, and it has all the vitamins and minerals that you need. Now, of course, you don't have to eat that every day, maybe once a week, maybe once every other week. But we were getting into the discussion about organ meat being bad.
Yes,
So
because I
we were
have heard that. Yeah.
yeah.
And for those of you who are wondering why I'm making the faces, if you don't know or you don't remember, I am a vegan, but I do not bash those who eat meat. But the whole thing as far as the organs, I have heard that, and I was asking Winter about that. I've heard that you shouldn't eat organ meat.
Mhm. Now, depending on what's going on with you, first you need a nutritional assessment to see if organ meats are right for you, depending on if you have any other comorbidities or illnesses that's going on. But for a naturally healthy individual, then no, organ meats are not bad. So we were talking about people who experience gout, who may have high levels of uric acid. So they have to watch that so they don't end up having gout. Organ meats are high in purines, which contributes to your uric acid levels raising, which then can contribute to you having gout. So if you're a person with gout, maybe having, organ meats wouldn't be an option for you, depending on how bad it could be. Um, then the next thing we were talking about was the cholesterol, because a lot of people say, okay, organ meats are high in cholesterol and that raises your cholesterol. So myth buster time. I want everybody to hear me clearly. Eating high cholesterol food does not raise your cholesterol. Eating
Huh.
saturated fats and eating trans fats is what raises your cholesterol. And so, with that being said, a lot of foods that are high in cholesterol also are high in saturated fats. But, fun fact,
Mm.
liver is not high in saturated fats.
Mm.
So, you can have those liver and onions like I do love so much. I know it's not for everybody, but you can have that and you'll be on the safe side. And of course, eat it in appropriate portion sizes, and everything in moderation. Like I said, you won't be eating this every single day. But yes, that is the truth. So even when it comes to the saturated fats and trans fats and foods that are high in cholesterol, usually may carry that. Also remember, fiber is your friend. Specifically, insoluble fiber is your friend when it comes to cholesterol, because it helps move that fat out of your bloodstream and helps you get rid of it. So you also want to make sure you're taking in adequate insoluble fiber, which comes from your oats, comes from like the skin of your apples, like the pectin and all that good stuff, and your fruits and things, and some nuts.
Gotcha. So insolubles are, like you said, the skins of the fruit
Hmm.
and some nuts
Hmm.
and what else?
And some oats, so like barley.
Okay, got it, got it.
Hmm.
So what are soluble fibers then?
So soluble fiber is okay. So I want you to think of it like this. So insoluble fiber, it dissolves in a water. It becomes like a gel-like consistency.
Okay.
So that means it dissolves in your gastrointestinal system, and so that's how it can go into the bloodstream and help remove those type of fatty deposits. So soluble fiber is the fiber that it doesn't dissolve. It kind of like bulks up, and so you use that more so to move waste out of your body. It helps bulk up your
Mm.
stool and all of that good stuff. So it's helpful too in a lot of different ways. And we got to do a talk on cholesterol, good, bad, okay. Like that's a whole thing within itself. So one day we have to do a talk about that.
HDLs, LDLs. Yeah, I got
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah.
And so with the vitamins, getting back to those
Yes.
beyond that, so let's say you don't eat organ meat, but let's say for a person who eats regular has a regular diet, so they're an omnivore or
Mhm.
carnivore versus a vegan. So what's the breakdown there? What does that look like?
Okay, so for a one-stop shop, when it comes to that, the only thing that I can think of that comes to mind that I was big on when I was back in college is total cereal. So you remember those total cereal flakes? If you
Hmm.
look at the nutritional fat label, they have, I think, 11 vitamins and minerals within
Hmm.
that cereal, and they're fortified. Of course, they're putting those nutrients in there, but it's 100% of your daily value. So whether you like cereal or not, you can either eat the cereal or you can either grind up those flakes and put them into a smoothie because they're whole wheat grains. You know
I
what I
never
mean?
thought about that. Hmm.
Yeah, so if you're not a cereal, I'm a dry food eater in the morning,
Hmm.
because just like cooked food makes me nauseous. So I'm more like bagels, toast, cereal.
Hmm.
But if not, just throw those flakes in there, blend them right up, whatever veggies, because I like to put veggies in my smoothies along
Hmm.
with different fruits, and you'll have it. You'll have it right there for you. So that is my food first approach when it comes to having a multivitamin all in one stop shop to kind of like make it easier for
Hmm.
people's New Year's resolution to like try to get all your nutrients in your diet.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mhm.
And you said that word fortified. So for
Yes.
people who don't understand that and see it all the time, so like on milk, even like vegan like nut milks, you'll see sometimes fortified with vitamin D or fortified with blah 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 blah.
Mhm,
That
mhm, and
just
that's
means it's pushed into it, processed into it.
yes, ma'am. Uh-huh. That means that it's not it doesn't naturally come with those things. Now, people also see enriched. And when you see enriched on a package, that just means that in the process of making this product, some nutrients may have been lost. So they're putting the nutrients that was lost back into the product because it was already naturally there. And then you have fortified where you can just add like something that normally wouldn't have that type of vitamin or mineral or nutrient within
Mhm.
that food, they're just adding it to that food.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Does everybody need the same vitamin? When I say everybody, so like because you'll see one a day for men, one a day
Yes.
for women.
Yes.
Um, so all women, or you see women over what 50, 60 or something like that. So
Correct.
would that one vitamin work for that group of people, or is that based on diet as well? So if
Mhm.
you are, you
Mhm.
eat meat versus you're a pescatarian versus you're a vegan or a vegetarian, would
Correct.
are those multivitamins one stop, or does that differ as well?
Yes, that definitely differs. And before I get into that, because I just thought about something that you
Mhm.
said with different diet types, I want to make it clear too. Remember our last discussion, we talked about how food is made nowadays versus back in the day and how food is not the same. It doesn't have the same makeup. So
Mhm.
remember also when you are just like you have quality in in other things. Some people like quality in their skincare products, their nail care products, their hair. You want quality food because that's going into your body and that's what's sustaining your life. So when it comes to these organ meats that we were previously talking about, still make sure that they're like organically farmed, meaning they're pasture farm, like grass fed and everything like that. Because
Mhm.
if you get a cow that was raised on junk,
Mhm.
then he's not going to have those type of healthy nutrients and everything that they need in those organ meats that you're
Okay.
eating. So
Mhm.
you want a healthy cow that was eating, grass fed and all that good stuff, because now they have those vitamins and nutrients in those organs that you then will eat. So going back to the you are what you eat, make sure
Mhm.
you're getting, farm raised cows, or if you get it from lamb, or if you get it from chicken, or whatever meat
Mhm.
you get, make sure it's farm raised.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Yes. So now going back to what you said. So yes, it is different. It differs between man and woman, because of course we both have two different genetic makeups. And then it differs within age group, because especially for women, because you have premenopausal, you have pregnancy, you have postmenopausal, you have adolescence. So those different age factors, you will look, if you look in like the nutrition facts, I think it's the RDAs, you can see from age group to age group what is the recommended nutrient daily, the daily recommended value of nutrients that that person is supposed to have. Some of it
Mhm.
may be similar, but some things are very much so different. And so then also, when you're looking at that, you said the diet. Yes, because you might be getting some nutrients from your diet just fine, and some others you might be lacking it. Like we were talking about being vegan versus being a carnivore, you will lack more than likely B vitamins if you are a vegetarian, and certain things, or heme iron if you are a vegetarian, because that's blood iron, and that only comes from a meat source.
Yeah.
So that being said, when it comes to that, you don't want to take in excess nutrients that you don't need, because I know sometimes people are like, well, I'll just get in extra and then I'll just have more because I'm over my daily recommended value, so I'm good to go. And it doesn't work like that. Your body will discrete that extra nutrients that it doesn't need. So it's not like, oh, you got a storage of it. It's getting rid of what it doesn't need. And so you'll still be depleted in whatever it is you're depleted in, and then you're not going to have an overage of what it is that you already have. So
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
just want to kind of like be mindful of that. So sometimes, and this is why it's important to speak with a dietitian and do a nutritional consult, because maybe you just need vitamin D, maybe you just need vitamin B12, maybe you just need one specific thing that you're lacking, that you can incorporate simple changes to get that mineral or maybe that vitamin that you're lacking.
Mm. And that makes sense as far as when you say it will, your body will expel it. So just thinking about vitamins,
Mhm.
um, when you take a vitamin, and the whole TMI of, so you'll see it in your urine when you
Yep.
go to the restroom, and you're like, well, what's wrong? It's like, oh, I did just take a vitamin B or something like that. And
Right.
so
Right.
then it's like, are you really doing any good when you taking a vitamin? If you take it and then it's kind of expelling, so does your body, is your brain telling your body enough to say, wait, hold on to this much of it, and okay, get rid of the rest?
Yes, our bodies are very smart. So there's things, so I guess this is something I probably should have started with. There's things that you want to take into factor before taking a multivitamin. So for people who are very busy, like healthcare providers, we don't always eat often. Sometimes we eat one meal a day. So for people who are very busy, they know they don't have a regular eating schedule. They know they're missing meals, so then more than likely they're missing nutrients. Multivitamins would be beneficial for those type of people. People who are certain medications, because certain medications can cause you to have malabsorption issues with certain nutrients. So you can be taking in these nutrients, but if you're on this medication, it can cause you to expel it. So you might have to put
Oh.
additional nutrients in so that you can have some absorption. Some people just have naturally malabsorption issues, like they just have dysfunctions in their body where they can't absorb certain nutrients.
Mhm.
If you have different ailments and illnesses, certain illnesses can be the cause of the malabsorption. So
Mhm.
if you fall in certain categories, then I think you would want to so take a look at yourself and see like, hey, do I fall in these categories where I'm not meeting my nutrient needs daily, that I might benefit from a multivitamin? Because most of the like healthy individual population, they're just not eating regularly,
Mhm.
which it can be solved by eating regularly, but sometimes that's easier said than done. Like I have friends that are truck drivers. I know they are not eating like they're supposed to eat. You know what I mean? And then half of them, even if they are not missing a meal, because some
Mhm.
of them, that's their New Year's resolution, because they drive so much and they sit so much and they're sedentary. They're like, I want to lose this weight that I put on from driving these vehicles. They're
Mhm.
not missing a meal, but those meals are not nutrient dense whatsoever,
Mhm.
So that's what you want to take into account. Am I eating nutrient dense meals? And then be honest with yourself. Are you the person who's going to eat nutrient dense meals? Because a lot of people don't want to eat the vegetables where you get a lot of your vitamins and minerals from. Like, yeah, meat is great, but vegetables are your source of, okay, this is how I'm going to get that nutritional balance. And if you're not going to do that, it's like, well, just go ahead and take a supplement, whether it's food first approach or whether it's just actually a over the counter supplement. Because it's kind of like sunscreen, how they say what sunscreen works for you, the one that you use. So
That part.
right. So it's like, what's going to work for you? Whatever you take. Listen, if you know for a fact, because we have to be realistic. If you know for a fact, if you're not in the space and you're not ready to make these dietary changes, even though you can make small ones that overall encompasses a total big change,
Mhm.
take the multivitamin.
Mhm.
It's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm. And that's one thing that you just said was interesting, and I've never considered that because I'm not a registered dietitian. But that thing of as far as that malabsorption, because I've had people to where talking to them, they're like, my energy level is down, I'm not feeling myself, this and that. And it's like I eat, I'm taking my vitamins, but never did it register to me that maybe they aren't absorbing that stuff. So is it is it a class of medications that lead to that malabsorption? And I know we talked a little bit about it before as well last time, and that was the testing. So the test that you do for them, that will that be an indicator of, or can that be an indicator of malabsorption?
Yes, yes. So the different labs that we can do as far as vitamin minerals, gut health labs and things like that, it can tell me about malabsorption. I would cross-reference that with any comorbidities that the person has, as well as any medication that they may be taking. A lot of the times, different psychotropic medications can cause malabsorption issues, and that would be a good talk as well for another time. Get into specific ones that I know, but as dietitians, I think some people may not realize, but anytime we assess someone, the reason why we're asking to see what type of medications that you're taking is because of medication and nutrition interactions.
Mhm.
Because some medications will have interactions with your nutrition, just like different, what is it, vitamin K and different blood thinners, that will affect each other. So we have to be very mindful. So we always cross-reference every single medication that the person is on to see how it may interact
Mhm.
with your nutrients and what may be needed, like a supplementation, or maybe we have to choose a different medication. Because even people who take, what is it, diuretics,
Mhm.
that causes them to have nutrient interactions, because the diuretics, you're constantly flushing your body, so you lose a lot of B vitamins and other things like that. So we have to supplement it. So yeah. And then also always remember that your I want to say is it is it your liver? I believe it's your liver. It always just like medication, it filters, like they make your prescription at a certain dosage, taking in an account that the fact that your liver is gonna kind of dilute it because it's a toxin to the liver.
Mhm.
So it's gonna decrease the level of potency. So it might say this is 50 milligrams, but you might only be getting 25 milligrams by the time it goes through the liver. You see what I'm saying?
Huh.
You have to take an account to that with medications and things like that. And I think same thing with taking supplements and stuff like that. So you might have to kind of up it a little bit more for
Mhm.
someone who has other distress going on with their bodies.
That is really interesting. Definitely maybe something to follow up on when you're talking about medications, because you hear when you're prescribed something and you hear it's 100 milligrams per blah 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 or what have you,
Mhm.
and you're like, man, that's kind of high. But
Correct.
no,
Yeah.
nobody understanding the mechanics of it or how it works, understanding that your body is going to filter. So even if it's 100, by the time it goes through your body, you're only getting 50 or what have you.
You're
Huh.
right, right. Yeah, so that was interesting when I was learning about that. And I want to, yeah, definitely touch on that again, like pull the research and really deep dive into that because I think if we understood that as, people, it's like, oh, wow, we could better manage our health.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. So,
Hmm.
and sticking with this, so let's say a person their system isn't helping or letting them absorb the nutrients from the multivitamin or their foods, then isn't that kind of a losing battle that they're fighting, or is there something that can be done to counter that?
It seems like it would be right, but it is certain things that we can do to counter that. We can see about giving it to you in a different form. And before I forget, I want to make sure that when you are looking for any type of supplementation, please remember that the FDA does not regulate supplements. It does not regulate supplements and what needs to be in them and things of that nature. So when you're picking supplements, you want to make sure that they have that stamp of approval of being tested by a third party vendor, which
Hmm.
companies go through to go the extra mile to show you that, hey, we are indeed, when we say we put 50 milligrams of vitamin D in here, it is indeed 50 milligrams of vitamin D, in that we're using the ethical products that we say we are using. So you want to make sure, like, it has, like, I think it's GMA and other different seals, like, on there, that it'll let you know that they had third party testing. So if you are taking your multivitamins and you're taking them in a pill form and they're not absorbing as well, I like to tell people to try liquid, because
Hmm.
liquid hits the bloodstream a lot faster when you take those type of nutrients in that way. I know some people take gummies. I'm a fan of gummies. I don't feel like they do as much as if I take liquid or take a pill.
Hmm.
And like I said, if you have malabsorption issues, sometimes you have to fix the core problem. Like, okay, what is going on? Why do I have malabsorption issues? Is it because I'm taking this medication? Okay, so that's when the dietitian and the doctor works together to see what can be adjusted to better assist the patient. Or is it an illness? Okay, how do we get this illness under control? Okay, this person has to take this medication
Hmm.
to get this, under control. Okay, now let's see if we start giving them more multivitamins and things like that. Are they able to absorb it better? And then, like I said, also increasing the amount that you're taking. And you might have to take it, maybe instead of 2 pills a day, you might have to take like 4 pills a day.
Mm. And when you say gummies, you're not talking about fun gummies. You're talking about
No,
actual gummies, vitamin gummies. Because
vitamin gummies, yeah.
somebody may say, "Hey, the registered dietitian told me
So
to
we can
take
take gummies. No, 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 no fun gummies, y'all. Only vitamin gummies, please. Yes. Oh my
this."
goodness.
And then and going back to the third party vendor, because that's interesting. You hear a lot of that, and it's really a shame with the FDA not regulating the
Yeah,
things that we put in our body,
yeah,
and that's more so here in the US than
right.
anywhere. But hey, whatever. But are there particular stamps that or
Yes.
are there, like, is it a whole lot, or is it maybe like 20 or maybe five specific, or is it,
I
yeah.
want to say it's about 5. I want to see if I wrote them down. I know GMA for definitely one of them, and I don't think I wrote the other ones down, but I can look them up right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, I can put those in the, like,
Well,
the
yeah, let's put them in the link. I'll send them to you.
yeah.
But yes, yeah, I know definitely GMA. I want to say I forgot the brand at Walmart is something. Is it Nutrition Valley? Is that the name of
Yeah.
the multivitamin?
Oh, I was thinking Nature Valley, but Nature Valley
Nature
is is that it? Because I know that's a granola. Is that granola?
That is their own one. I think it's close to that though. It's something Valley, y'all. But they
Okay.
they make sure that they use a third party vendor to test their products to ensure
Gotcha.
that that they are indeed whatever they say they're putting in their products is what's in their products. So they're
Gotcha.
one of the brands that are known for doing that.
Okay. Yeah, we'll definitely put all of that in the description and all of that, so it can be seen, and people know those things. So
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm trying to think. I think that. Well, based on what you said thus far, those are all the questions I had. But I did you
Mhm.
have some more things on this with regards to the vitamins and the nutrients and getting people started or helping them to continue on their resolution or their resolve to be better in 24 or do more in 24
Right.
for
Do
their
more
bodies?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to encourage people like, hey, this is something that you can start immediately and know that you're doing your body a benefit. Like I said, talk to your doctor, talk to your registered dietitian, consult with them about maybe what would be the best multivitamin for you. If you do a supplement approach, if you do the food first approach, also consult about the organ meats, depending on, what you personally have going on with yourself. But like the total cereal, I feel like that is a pretty safe bet for everybody right now. Like, hey, I could eat this total cereal
Right.
and I don't have to worry like too much. But yeah, just make sure you're taking into account again, just to recap. Um, your age, if you're a male or a female, and then what, like, do you fall in that list of like, hey, I don't get adequate nutrition, or hey, I got this stuff going on with me, which causes me not to be able to process my nutrition accurately and things like that. And then just go from there and just figure out what works best for you. Or book a consult with me and I'll tell
That
you.
that part, yes.
And I'll
And
tell you, no problem.
And just as a reminder, Winter is licensed in Florida, Texas, and
Mhm.
Missouri is coming in the next week. So those will be
Yes.
the three states. So if you're in those three states and don't feel like, she has to travel to you or you have to travel to her, these are telehealth sessions that you can book. That link for her consultations will also be in the drop down of this video. um, Anything else?
Oh, I just want to say if you all have anything that you're interested in us discussing and talking about, or questions you may have, please leave them in the comments below so we can discuss them, on our next video.
Absolutely. So thank you all for tuning in. Again, I am Gayla, aka the Awkward Introverted Therapist, Winter Ross, registered dietitian extraordinaire. Tavern Take 5, out.